Welcome to Season 3 of The Short Score, the Team Roping Journal's weekly news update show, where you can find the latest on the sports leaders from the jackpot world of the USTRC and the World Series of Team Roping to the pro rodeo ranks. I'm Chelsea Shaffer.
And I'm Kaitlin Gustave.
And we'll be your hosts. Hey, Kaitlin.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Short Score. And I'm sorry if you are the kind of person that sits around and refreshes your podcast feed waiting for the next update. We are a little late today, and we're only late today for two reasons, actually. I was going to say only for one reason, but for two reasons. One reason is the April issue of the Team Roping Journal.
Don't jump ahead.
I know. April issue of the Team Roping Journal was going to press this morning, so we were busy signing off on all the pages for that and making sure, hoping that nothing was spelled incorrectly and we didn't mess anything up. And then secondly, I was busy writing a story about Calgary adding team roping this year. So we're going to talk about those things on this episode.
Yep. So
we'll talk about Calgary here in a bit. Kaitlin, give us the rundown of what happened over the weekend, all the good team roping news.
Well, team roping news. As we know, this coming weekend, March 7th and 8th, is RFD-TVs, the American, presented by Durango Boots. I will be on grounds this weekend. Super exciting. But we got to talk about who won the semifinals, and that is Nelson Wyatt and Logan Medlin. Super exciting. Nelson Wyatt is a 2017 all-around and heading Resistol Rookie of the Year. And Logan Medlin, he's been in the headlines for the past few months with some big ropings.
He's having a really good year. So.
He's definitely on a roll. And later this week, hopefully tomorrow, we'll have a story up with an interview with Nelson and Logan about their win. Just for you to know right now, Nelson actually qualified for the American semifinals with another partner, and you only get 2 spots, and Logan had an open spot, so he ended up calling Logan and picking him up because his other partner ended up with, I believe, 3 runs, and you can't go to the semifinals with 3 runs. So that's how Nelson and Logan got teamed up, and Logan also technically qualified to go to the American with his regular season partner, Charlie Crawford, but he is not allowed to go to the American twice. So Charlie got to pick out of the finalists, and he chose Billy Jack Saban, so we'll see them this weekend at the American.
It's a decent draw partner.
Yeah, I would say. Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
And then also, the Lone Star Shootout happened. We'll also have a story about that later this week. Cory Kidd, the 5th, and Caleb Anderson won that. That was a huge win. I looked that up. That's the biggest win those guys have ever had jackpotting, and they've actually won more money at the Lone Star Shootout than they've ever won in a year jackpotting. That's awesome.
And that's not saying PRCA standings, but that is saying at the jackpot. So good job, guys. That's awesome. And props to Austin Robertson for putting that on. I know he did it kind of in response to the George Strait going away. It was kind of what helped spur that. And we'll have a story about it on the website, so check it out.
And then moving on, we got some World Series news. If you aren't paying attention to the Ariat World Series of Team Roping, you should. It's on Global Handicaps. You can keep track of all that. Go to Global Handicaps. Yeah, time tracker. GlobalHandicaps.com. I'm on there every day because it's awesome. You can see everyone's times and everything. But someone we should highlight is that Chase Massengill. He's been on a roll lately. He won Buckeye, Arizona, the Open with Robert Murphy. And just recently at the title fights, he won first and second in the number 15.5 over there. So, way to go, Chase. You're on a roll right now. Keep it up. That's exciting.
Very good. Absolutely. All right, now to talk about the Calgary news. So, I heard rumblings of this about a week ago, and I think it's been in the works for a really long time. Calgary really wanted to become a PRCA rodeo. Calgary has never had team roping, and it's since 1912 when it's had its first rodeo. Team roping is kind of treated a little differently in Canada. It's on the rise, but it's just not as big of a deal. So in order for Calgary to become a PRCA rodeo, they had to add team roping. So they worked really hard with the PRCA to come up with some money to figure out how they were going to get it done. Now, It will be a PRCA rodeo. The team roping will be off-site. And when I say off-site, it's not going to be in the main arena. It's actually going to be in an indoor arena that's on the same grounds. I looked at the overhead picture of what it looks like.
The layout.
It's very close. It's very close in an indoor arena. It'll be July 7th. They're going to run 2 and a short that day, one day only, for $35,000 added aside. The top 25 in the PRCA World Standings as of May 11th, 2020, will get in.
Nice.
And then the top 5 in the Canadian standings as of 2019. So, like, how the year ended in the top 5 in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it won't be a Canadian rodeo. This money is not going to count towards the Canadian standings. It's not co-sanctioned with the CPRA. I think there's probably a little bit of controversy around that element of the whole deal. But it's exciting for team ropers. They're going to get to, I was talking to Levi Simpson, and I was like, man, are guys going to be able to head up to Canada right then? Because usually they're kind of, I was thinking about that. A lot of them are camped out around our place.
Yeah.
After Greeley, between Estes Park. Like, that's kind of when they go to Utah. It's the week after the 4th when traditionally they've kind of laid low at our house, more like a lot of the guys, and stuck around. So it'll be interesting to see, I think obviously it's not an insignificant amount of money that they're adding. So people will still go, but I'll be curious to know.
And so, I mean, you may not know this, but just thinking about it, because Matt Sherwood is the Canadian champ from last year. If he's in the top 20, they'll roll down in the PRCA standings, is my assumption.
Yeah, so he was if they take, with the understanding that they take the top 5 out of Canada from last year, top 25, if he is in the top 25 in the PRCA World Standings, they're going to roll down and take, 26 and 27. That was a question I had too, and Sherwood said that he believes they will take more from this year's PRCA World Standings rather than drop down to like number 6 and 7 in the Canadian standings.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's a big change. We posted the story. Right now it's about 2:57 p.m. here in Colorado. We posted that story like less than a half hour ago, and it's already got hundreds of shares. People in Canada are very excited about it. I'm curious to see how it works out.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Now to the important stuff. We want to talk about the U.S. Finals and the USTRCs, just their schedule coming up. So here's what we have on the calendar. JX2's big ticket is March 13th to the 15th. There's the New Mexico Team Roping Association event. It's an NFTR earnings event on the 14th. Phillip Branch Spring Break on the 14th. That's another NFTR earnings affiliate event. The All-Star Team Roping in Warner, Oklahoma is March 14th to 15th. And then the Oklahoma Winter Championships in Guthrie at the Lazy E are March 20th to the 22nd. And the USTRC's South Texas Championships on March 20th to the 22nd.
And for World Series events,
this weekend is the 10.5 Heartland Shelley Productions in San Antonio. So all this weekend, starting Thursday through Sunday, you will have that. There's a Loveland, Colorado Mountain States Cattle Company qualifier on March 7th and 8th. Porterville, California qualifier, Cal Shootouts, March 7th and 8th. Kinder, Louisiana qualifier produced by Watson Team Roping, the 13th to the 15th. Las Vegas, Nevada qualifier produced by Triple T Productions is March 13th to the 15th. Tunica, Mississippi qualifier produced by JX2 will be Friday the 13th to Sunday the 15th. Albuquerque, New Mexico is another Mountain States qualifier. That's Saturday, March 14th and Sunday, March 15th. Warner, Oklahoma qualifier is only having a 12.5 and a 9.5 with All-Star Team Roping's event. That's March 14th through the 15th. So that is the schedule. You've got the U.S. Finals, the Cinch USTRC's National Finals. That's coming up April 21st to the 26th. We will be there. We will have all kinds of coverage. If you're not there watching, you can watch it on Ride Pass. You can listen to our podcast from the event. You'll be able to keep up with whatever social media channels your little heart desires. We will have your back. We will have lots of coverage going on there. But it's enter on site. So even if you're not sure yet whether or not you're coming, then you better roll on over.
Get entered, get your team set up.
Yes, absolutely. We would absolutely love to see you there. All right, guys, so we've got travel the next couple weeks. Kaitlin will be at the American, so you will have special coverage from the American on this podcast, as well as all of our digital channels. The week after, I will be at the Cinch Timed Event Championships. So stand by. You will get lots of coverage from those 2 events. We can't wait to share it with you. And then this week on the score is Shay Carroll.
Yeah.
Yes. So Shay Carroll, who's working with Levi Simpson this year, 2-time NFR healer. It's a big conversation. It's a fun conversation, and you will love it. So thank you all for hanging with us. We will talk at you next week.